Hey everybody, and welcome back to the next part in my Line 6 Helix series of dialing in videos. I had a request a while back, as I usually do for these. It's funny because I'm planning on getting to all the amp models within the Helix, but everybody always throws one out at a particular time, and I kind of go, well, okay, I'll jump on that, right? I had a request to do the Stone EH-185 amp, which is a model of the Gibson EH-185 amp. Pretty simple amp, not an amp I had much knowledge about or have ever used before, but it was interesting. In my short amount of research I did on them, I noticed that one of the standout bands who had maybe used this amp or a similar amp, possibly one of the old Gibson amps, was Queens of the Stone Age. So that was kind of interesting. Not that it meant too much, but anyways, what I decided to do with this one, this is actually kind of a cool late night dialing in video. I usually do this through the day, but yeah, I thought I would do something different than doing like this sort of total 4 snapshot kind of presets I've done in the past, right? Where I'll do like a clean push, overdrive, and then like a lead sound. I thought I would just do like 1 or 2 snapshots here. And in this case, I really just did 1 snapshot. And I added a little bit of delay to the second snapshot just to differentiate the two if you wanted to use it for a lead. And I thought because of the style of amp it was, kind of a more simple amp where you kind of plug in and maybe use your volume control to control the dynamics of the amp and maybe clean it up, that we could just kind of go with 1 snapshot that was kind of, the amp kind of opened up, cranked up, as we'll see in the settings in a minute. And then we'll just use our volume control and tone control and pickup selector to choose how we want it to sound. So that might be kind of a fun thing. And maybe I'll do another one later on with the same amp with more snapshots. But for now, we'll go with that. So let's dive over to HX Edit and take a look at what we have. So again, like normal, I have my normal compressor at the end, the LA Studio Comp, peak reduction 5.5, gain at 5, normal settings for me. Really nothing that I can remember on the EQ that I have at the end other than the low cut and high cut, 100 Hertz and 12 kilohertz respectively. Reverb was a room verb with a decay of 4 and a mix of 25%. I have a transistor tape, my go-to tape delay that everybody's probably really tired of seeing me use at this point, but it's set with a note sync of quarter note, feedback of 18%, mix of 25%, but that's only going to be on the second snapshot where it's labeled with delay, which is pretty obvious, right? First snapshot I just called Stone Age. So what I have with that though is the 112 field coil cabinet, which is the default cabinet that comes up with the Stone Age 185. I really honestly can't remember what the default mic was with that, to be completely honest with you. But I chose the 121 ribbon at a distance of 5.5 inches. I also use my split crossover set at the normal 650 Hertz I usually go with, and I boosted all the frequencies above that by 2 dB to give it a little bit more upper end boost, okay? Didn't touch all the frequencies below that. So what did I do on the amp itself? Well, I cranked the drive up to 8, cranked the drive up to 10, crank the master up to 10, channel volumes at 9 just for its normal, just to get the volume where it needs to be. Presence was at 4.7, treble was at 6, mid at 6.5, and bass at 5.8. I don't believe I touched much in the way of the deeper parameters, although I dialed this in a couple days ago, so I don't, if memory serves me correctly, I don't think I touched those. I'm playing my Yamaha RevStar 620. And what that sounded like was this. So how did that sound if we roll the volume back? Well, let me bring it way back. Slowly inch it in. I'll engage a dry switch on the rev star. What I'll do too right now is just go to Snapshot 2 where we bring the delay in. A little bit more ambience to it. You gotta remember, that's with the volume down around maybe, I don't know, like 3 maybe? I'll slowly bring that in now. Go to the neck pickup. Middle position. Now that's with the dry switch engaged. I'll turn it off. Okay, so it cleans up okay. It still has a little bit of edge in the breakup, right? I'll dial that in a little bit more, go to the bridge pickup, bring the volume in a little more. Probably up to about 8 or 9 there. Here's full on. Neck pickup full on. Bridge pickup. Okay, that riff is like tuned down and not this tone and everything, but I thought because of the Queens of the Stone Age reference from before, I would throw that in there. Yeah, so anyways, it's a pretty cool tone, and I thought it was kind of neat that we could just use a volume control to kind of adjust this rather than going through snapshots. Kind of a different thing, but it's kind of fun to mix these things up. Crazy stuff. Okay, so yeah, fun tone, pretty cool stuff. It's an amp model I never really looked at before until somebody brought it up, and I said, well, let's try it out. But it has some really cool tones, and I could see it being used for some old vintage style stuff, or like I said, Queens of the Stone Age style material. So you guys can take that as a starting point, mess around with it a little bit, see what you can come up with that suits your ideals and your monitoring system and your guitar and pickups and whatnot. Like I say a million times, it's going to really depend on what you're going after and what you're playing through and what you're playing, which guitar you're playing with it as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a short video, it's a quick preset. It's a fun amp model though, and hopefully that's a good starting point for you guys to be able to kind of expand on it and dial something in closer to your perfect needs. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be back soon with some more content that hopefully you guys enjoy. All right. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.